Good evening from Toyota Center. I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bulls guard Jay Williams. And Jay, yes, we are ready for takeoff.
And Ed, the Rockets are flying high. They keep feeding the beard or feeding the streets. Either way, this is a lethal backcourt.
It's been a launching pad for threes and so much more. Let's get ready for the tip. Jay, the Thunder have loads of talent, but right now they're facing a team that is locked in and playing so well together.
Ed, there's no doubt that when OKC plays at its best, they can beat anybody in the NBA. But I think this team is really struggling defensively. Whenever you lose the likes of Corey Brewer and Andre Roberson, your best perimeter defender, that is not the key to success to OKC stopping somebody.
Harden in possession. Down 2. To Fareed. Capella. To the rim. Throws it down off the alley-oop pass. Jay, no question. There's an unspoken bond there.
Just on the same wavelength. And how about this? Sometimes a bad pass is a great pass when you have somebody as athletic as that can catch that anywhere and slam it down.
And he's fouled. A trip to the line coming up.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
First free throw is good. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. To Harden. Gets a look. Can't hit.
You see, Ed, this is what the refs need to start calling. The defender hit the shooter right around the waist, which made him lunge into his shot and took away all of his concentration for it.
With the rock, it's Chris Paul. To Harden.
Right. Hey, clear out. I got this.
Won't go down. Westbrook across the timeline. Up by 3. George against Clint Capella. Westbrook to Paul George. OKC now with 4 to shoot. Deep left corner. Westbrook. That's off the side of the rim. No good. To Paul. It goes down.
It's almost like he had the defender on a string, and he's the puppet master.
Paul George to Westbrook. Short jumper won't go down. Harden with the basketball. Down a point. James Harden missed his first. That one goes. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He is a scorer and an elite passer.
Gets it to go, and the foul.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Russell Westbrook at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 81% free throw shooter. Free throw up and good. Gives him a 2-point lead. Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Harden against the former MVP. Sizing up the defense. Driving right to the basket. Yes! And a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
So many times we get on a defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
James Harden trying to cash in on the three-point play. A career 85% free throw shooter. Free throw up and good. And the three-point play puts them up early in this one. George to Adams. Able to convert inside.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Now Paul with the basketball. Down by 1. Harden to Paul. Here's Harden, down low. James Harden, 3 for 4. Good start.
It just seems like one of 3 things happen every time James Harden has the ball. Either he scores, he gets fouled, or he kicks it out to someone for a 3. Pick your poison.
George against Tucker. To Westbrook. No good. To Harden. Tucker. Beyond the arc for 3. Double figures in the first quarter, now at 10, including that 3.
And the more and more I watch, I become mesmerized with that follow-through. That release is effortless.
Paul George to Westbrook. To George. The rebound belongs to Houston. Paul into the front court. 14-10 the score. Ooh, crisp ball. 2 for 2. That's what you want. He has that sixth sense that you just can't teach.
He's like a traffic cop, and he's navigating a myriad of bodies coming his way. And there's a smaller innuendo of the game that nobody talks about. When he makes a great pass, he'll tell the offensive player, shoot it, go up, dunk it. He will direct you and lead you to success.
Harden in possession. Shot clock turned off as they get a chance to build their lead. Knocks down a tough shot. Now a smothering defense.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
So the Rockets with the lead after 1 at Toyota Center. Jay and I back with more after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Houston with the basketball. Harden. Now pass taken away by the Thunder. To Paul George. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket. Harden with it up top. Up by 6. To P.J. Tucker. Shot clock to 4 for Houston. And he hits.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. Down 8. Here comes the screen. Schroeder picked up by Paul. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
Harden picked up by Noel. Rockets with 4 to shoot. James Harden trying to cash in. Knocks it down off the step back.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Schroeder to George. The Thunder down to 4 in the shot clock. George, he engulfed him that time.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Chance for Paul. Ooh, Chris Paul. 3 for 3 in this first half. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions.
Subbing in for the Rockets, number 35, Kenneth Reed.
Oh, Dennis Schroeder. He's 2 for 2 now.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Iman Shumpert guarded by Schroeder. To P.J. Tucker. Harden. They get it down to Paul. From the painted area, won't go down. To Schroeder. Here comes the screen. Ferguson matched up with P.J. Tucker. Down low Adams. Works it up top. Has a chance. Hand in his face. Still hits. You don't see that very often.
Okay, I saw a little bit of a handle there, but let's see if that confidence is still there down the stretch.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
It can only be one of two things here. One, the defender ran out of gas, or two, this dude is just unstoppable.
Down low, Noel. 4-3. That one off the mark. It's no good. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Creates the space to bury the 3 on the step back.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
OKC ball. Here comes the screen. Felton matched up with Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. Ferguson. A bad pass as the Rockets come away with it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
No, I missed a short one there.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
Screen coming. Schroeder matched up with Paul. Has a look. With the step back.
I love when I get a chance to watch guys who can make more out of what they actually have in their arsenal. And that's who Dennis Schroeder is. For a guy who really can't shoot, he sure does put the ball in the bucket.
Harden, defended by Nerlens Noel. To P.J. Tucker. Shot clock to 4 for Houston. Look at the fight for that ball. We'll get a jump. Looks like some substitutions are coming on in.
City Thunder, number 13,
Rockets with 4 to shoot. For 3, always has a chance for Tucker, but not that time. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That misses with a second to go. That's it for the first half with the Rockets in front.
Jalen here with your halftime report. The Rockets have built a comfortable lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Houston Rockets. The Thunder have got themselves in a bad situation that seems likely to only get worse. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. These are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Missed threes. Player of the half.
James Hardens has already put together a pretty nice highlight reel for himself, and that's just after one half of basketball. He did a lot of scoring, and it probably won't stop anytime soon.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
Here's Schroeder with it. His guys down by 9. To Paul George. Screen coming.
See the screen, see it.
Paul George. It's been a quiet night. Only 3 attempts, but he makes that one stick. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
The pass set it all up.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Paul with it up top. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. To Harden.
Hey, watch the screen left.
Nothing going here on that drive. Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. That's how it's done. He's 4 for 4 in the game.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Harden. Here comes the screen. Harden against Adams. Tucker to Paul. Lets it fly from long range, knocks it down. And, Jay, so much better to get that shot beyond the arc than inside 22 feet. There's a sixth sense there that you just can't teach.
If you're a player on the same team with CP3, you should be taking that point guard out to dinner every single night. There's something to be said about a guard that makes the game way easier for you to be even more of an efficient offensive player.
Jeremy Grant at the line for a chance at a three-point play. Career mark of 64%. Free throw try, off the mark. Paul into the front court. Leads 4. Harden. Can't connect, it's no good. Schroeder with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Now a steal as the Rockets have it. To Harden. From long range. And Chris Paul, he's been doing that for years. Wide open look, and he buries it.
Defense, do the math. You force him to take tough twos, you'll probably have a better chance to win this game if you can slow down the pace.
Screen coming. Ferguson. Hardens on him. To Schroeder. Rockets come up with it. Paul. To Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
George. Capella's on him. Here comes the screen. It's PG for 2. Paul George. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
Oh, my goodness. Someone please patch me into the arena intercom.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Presentation in his or her honor. Nominations can be submitted on our team website.
Changes coming from both sides right now. Paul, guarded by Russell Westbrook. Steven Adams rejects it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Paul George, he's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field.
There's something so different about this player. I can't quite just put my finger on it. Oh, I got it. He actually started to play. Good to see him actually step back on the court and be himself.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
Hey, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Iman Shumpert trying to cash in on the three-point play. For his career, 76% from the line. One free throw, count it. It's a three-point play, and the lead up to 8. Russ at the controls. To George. misses the three. It was contested, but Paul George still dials in for three.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Paul across the timeline. Less than a minute to go in this third quarter. Steven Adams snatching it out of the air. Westbrook with it. The deficit now up to 5. Oh, Russell Westbrook. 3 for 6 now.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Chris Paul at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 86% from the line. Paul's free throw, good. A three-point play as the Rockets add to their lead. Oklahoma City ball. To Schroeder. Probing the defense. Screen coming. George picked up by Nene. Nice pass to get things going.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Now Paul with the basketball. Shot clock turned off as they try to extend the lead. Trying to cash in. Paul shot off the mark. Deep three at the buzzer. That's the end of the third quarter. The Rockets with the lead. It's the Rockets in control of the basketball as we start the fourth quarter. And that halftime lead, it was cut down in the third.
And just because the numbers on a scoreboard say that you're winning doesn't mean that the feeling on the court implies that. This team is gaining momentum. If you don't do something to gain your momentum back, they're going to come back and win this game.
The Thunder have the possession. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Russell Westbrook trying to cash in on a three-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. Free throw up and good. A three-point play. It's back to a one-point game. Paul into the front court. He'll run the offense. Fareed. Gordon picked up by Ferguson. Ferguson slams it down.
And that transition offense was flawless when guys fan out and actually fill the lanes with a sense of urgency. You heard me correctly, a sense of urgency. You will get a great shot every possession.
Iman Shumpert, tough matchup against George. Knocks it down off the step back.
And while the ball was still in his hands, a sidestep throws a defender off. People aren't used to seeing that type of footwork.
Here comes the screen. George to Westbrook. Has a chance. Shot by Westbrook off the mark.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, Keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Oklahoma City's got it. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The ref spit, and that's the game.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Paul George at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 84% free throw shooter. Free throw up and good. Gives him a 2-point lead. Paul picked up by Adams. Nothing going here on that drive. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
It just seems like nobody can stop him but him. Once he's found his offensive swag, that boy's deadly.
Westbrook into the front court. All even here in the fourth. George. Yes. Give the advantage to the shooter.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
To Harden. Paul. Oh, good offense beating good defense.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Russell Westbrook picked up by Paul. Ferguson to Westbrook. Oh, Russell Westbrook. With that, he's 5 for 9. The inner beast of Westbrook. Sheer determination.
I don't think anybody got the license plate on not hit and run. And there is no one, I repeat, no one in the game of basketball with the first step in the explosion of Russell Westbrook.
Harden to Paul. Ball's tied up. Neither player wants to give it up. Shifting gears. Here come some substitutions. Westbrook into the front court. 2-point advantage to Paul George. It's Paul for 2. It's good. If you don't stand in his way, he's going to make you pay.
There is no better feeling than after making that shot and trotting back on defense, seeing your opponent stare, point, or yell at each other for miscommunication.
Westbrook. Off the mark. No good. Goes to the right side. Paul buries it on the catch and shoot.
And watching all these great shooters on the floor at once, it almost mesmerizes me. It's like you're watching the shot in slow motion. The backspin, it gives off the feel that the ball's going in every time.
Westbrook to George. Nothing going here on that drive. To Paul George. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Confidence is everything in this game. And it almost seems like in the first half, he lost that confidence. He wasn't taking the shots he normally takes because he didn't see the ball go in. That is no longer the case. He is finally back to himself.
Goes to the left side. Paul, wide open look, won't go. Ferguson against Chris Paul. George gets it to go. Didn't have many choices there. Lets it fly.
You see, the savvy players, they can create contact. They can throw their arms into you, even their bodies into you, and as soon as the refs blow the whistle once or twice and you become hesitant defensively, they got you right where they want it.
Thunder with the basketball. Probing the defense. OKC now with 4 to shoot. Paul George fires, knocks it down from mid-range.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
We get a whistle and a timeout for Houston. They're going to have to draw something up for an open look at a three. Paul knocks it down and the foul. And a chance now at a 4-point play.
If you're the defender, you can't keep your hand outwards in the pocket of the shooter. The offensive player recognized that. He raked his arms into yours on his way up to take the shot. That's a foul every time.
Chris Paul with a chance at a 4-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Got it at the line. Now a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout from OKC. They trail by 1. Who's it going to be as they get ready for the final shot? Russell Westbrook picked up by Paul. We get a whistle and a foul with 1 second to go. It's not in the bag yet, but it would take a real meltdown for this to slip away.
Good foul right there. You want to stop the clock.
First one goes down. Able to convert on both free throws. We get a whistle and a foul with 1 second to go. It's not in the bag yet, but it would take a real meltdown for this to slip away. Chris Paul has got 2 shots coming. He's perfect from the line so far. And hits the first free throw. And gets both to drop at the line. It's the Rockets who are victorious as they take care of business at home. That does it. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
It's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets got the win in a nail-biter. What really stands out for me is how many three-pointers were scored. Everyone in the arena should have been given a free umbrella for the way they made it rain from long range. Check out the leading scores for the Houston Rockets. The Thunder finished on the losing end of a close score. The way they shot the ball was outstanding, but even still, it wasn't enough to get the result they wanted. More often than not, you're gonna win games when you shoot the ball as well as they did here today.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
Chris Paul could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
Take a look at the upcoming games for the Houston Rockets. That does it for us. On behalf of the rest of the crew, good night.